I've got sunshine on a cloudy day. When it's cold outside, I've got the month of May. I guess you say what can make me feel this way, my girl, my girl, my girl. Talking about my girl, my girl. I've got so much honey, the bees envy me. I've got a sweeter song than the birds in the trees. Well, I guess you say what can make me feel this way, my girl, my girl, my girl. Talking about my girl, my girl. I don't need no money, fortune or fame. I got all the riches, baby, one man can claim. Well, I guess you say what can make me feel this way, my girl. Talking about my girl, my girl. I've got sunshine on a cloudy day with my girl. I've even got the month of May with my girl. When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll
Mic check. Mic check. 1 2 1 2 1 2. Mic check. Check check.
You're not wrong. It's like a hair clip. Check, check, check. 1 2 1 2. Check, check, check. 1 2. Yeah, Louis. The I think in person there wasn't an echo, but on the recording. So when that gets when the live feed gets up, check that for the echo again. Check, check, check. 1 2 1 2. Welcome. Hey, so good to see you guys tonight. Thank you so much for coming. Yeah, one person here that's ready for comedy. Yeah. Did I tell you that one of the managers that when I was passing out flyers, I dropped off a flyer and she says, "Do something funny right now." I was like, "What am I, a clown? Like, am I here to amuse you?"
We should have a canned response.
Well, one time Johnny Carson brought Eddie Murphy on, and he essentially did that to Eddie Murphy, like, do some of your comedy now, and Eddie was like, "Ha ha ha ha, no." No, yeah, let's reduce echo. Hello, this is the great. What would be a canned response to like say something funny now?
I always say knock knock
Yeah, that's a good one.
because then they say who's there, and I say it doesn't work like that.
What if we do? Does your face hurt? Because it's killing me. That's what I should do. We used to say that in middle school all the time.
Yesterday, when I was going to bed, I couldn't find my phone, and I was looking around for it. Sage is like, I think I know where it is. Up your butt and around the corner. I don't know why that was the funniest thing I've ever. Because that was the automatic response in childhood to everything.
Are you and Sage similar in age?
Yeah, she's 35 or 37.
Yeah.
She would say that.
So you had similar middle school experiences, and yeah. Because she was in Boston,
Western Mass.
Massachusetts, yeah. So it is a little different than New York, but I guess Western Mass, that's kind of an affluent area, isn't it?
Pockets.
Yeah.
There's like the Berkshires, which is like people have like movie stars have homes there for the summer, and Sage lives in the town where the people work at their movie theaters.
Ah.
I'm happy.
You good? Check, check, check. Check. Actually, that seems a little hot now. Is that just me?
No, it's just you, buddy.
Ah. All right. He says we're good.
No, no, I just meant you.
Oh, you mean I'm hot.
Sounding. So
Check, check, check. 1 2 1 2. I mean, I do hear the speakers right here, so maybe that sounds a little better. Yeah, it is kind of weird. That is a deterrent to the first row also, is that people feel like they're getting blasted out. We used to have our speakers mounted, but when we did that, we didn't figure out like you should power down the speaker. If you leave it running 24/7,
get rid of the. I'm like, yeah,
it's on the agenda.
in the speaker.
feel about that? You think that can work with sound?
Oh, yeah.
So I can make it work. All right, this tape is dull, and I just found high gloss black tape. Does that matter?
Not for me.
Not going to reflect into somebody's face,
I don't know. Who knows? I don't think so.
right? It's not until it does.
Learn something new every day.
Is Sage going to come hang out with us tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, my wife was, I was just like, hey, we're all going to hang out afterwards. And then she was like, is anybody there besides just you and Matt? And I was like, yeah, I think Matt's whole family's coming. Probably say, she's like, okay, then I'll come. She's like, what?
That's, yeah.
Just come.
I get it.
What if it was just you?
No, I mean, at our last show, I felt like such a creeper because I told all the comics, I think I told you, and I was like, hey, y'all want to go hang out? And y'all were like, no. And it's just me and Donna. And I was like, you want to go hang out? And she was like, I got to get home. And I was like, that's probably better. I was like, but.
Well, I think I had an early flight the next morning.
I'm just like, we just did a comedy show. Aren't we supposed to go hang out?
I know, it's my favorite part.
Right?
That's actually, yeah, even when doing the apartment shows. The apartment part sucked.
Yeah.
With the hanging. Hey, you and Matt are the only two people I hang out with.
That can't be true because you're always hanging out with somebody.
No, I'll play online with my buddy Matt who lives in Florida.
What do you mean you play online?
We
Like a
play-
video game?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it's just our way of talking to
Staying
each other.
connected, yeah.
Yeah.
Dudes can't just talk to each other. You got to do something.
Yeah. Neither of us play video games except for the 2 hours we'll fit in here and there.
What game will y'all play?
So I realize when we play FIFA, anytime we play anything, we're just mean to each other.
Yeah.
We're not nice. And I realize I want to be supportive, and he's struggling right now, and I want to be more empowering.
Right.
So now I found co-op games. So we play Borderlands, and so we're on the same team, and I can just stop.
Because then you're working as a team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just me being mean to him every time I win. And I didn't feel good after a while because I got better. And I can't just let someone win.
I'm trying to decide if these look weird or not, or y'all care.
No, if it picks up laughter, that's what we care more about that.
Yeah, bring it closer.
If you could walk around and get.
I think this little left-right thing I'm doing is coming.
Hand one to each audience member.
Yes. And laugh into it as loud as you can. I saw some kind of reel where this like 50-year-old mom was talking about how their whole family plays video games together. Their kids are adults, like 25 around the country, and so Tucker plays video games online. And so I said to him, I was like, dude, would you want us to do that? And I was like, your cousins? And he was like, yeah, that could be cool. And I was like, you wouldn't feel like we were like infringing? And he's like, it'd be annoying. And I'm like, why would that be annoying? He's like, because you would suck.
Yeah, that's my brain immediately going like, yeah, he'd have to start a whole new game with his system just to be
Right.
And he'll still be better than you guys.
Yeah. That's what he's like. It'd be really frustrating for a long time. And I'm just like, well, I didn't realize you had to come down to our level. And then I
You
thought,
guys should just be playing Wii Tennis then.
right. We probably should just do Mario Kart.
Oh, classic.
I like it.
Video turns out well. You use it to.
I mean, definitely. We definitely could chop it up into a promo. it needs to have like you gotta have like squeeze balls for it to swag.
I gotta give them something free.
This is just promotional music.
This is the part of the book we're not supposed to judge. That's right. Not by the cover. Looks great.
Yeah, it's like 93 seats.
Love it.
Where like the big mystery will be if all these free tickets pan out. But
Yeah, there's a few of them that's like I would be shocked if they made it. Actually, they were like, yeah, I'm coming.
yeah,
But then most of them are Harry's friends.
and they live around the corner.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, we have a list.
Older ladies from Barnes that like they don't fly.
Right.
Like we're 72.
We'll know, and so. But if we, I guess we shouldn't. Mention
No. No. But yeah, some way they would be like, if you don't even go to shows, you're not paying anything more.
You are? Yeah. You want to go above and beyond?
Yeah.
And there's some of you I'm looking directly at.
Yeah, on the way home here. Yeah, good night. Thank you, guys.
You enjoyed that, didn't you? So the next time I say $35, don't fall. It's for the kids.
I don't think any of that. I mean, a lot of these people would not even get hurt or that wouldn't tell me like their vacation everything.
Right.
So I bet they're really, I bet they're a lot of local. Well, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Keep up.
You're like, you did come to a church. Now with everything back. It's past that place. We got a basket in the back.
They are gonna. Your friend's family's still alive. That was the realization.
Obviously I'm biased, but I found out all the shows we've done on the video, oh, he's dead, and he's a little awkward, and he's, and this is just all really cool.
They wouldn't like all the cool things. They would.
We don't know all that.
I think they would be like.
If you have them long enough, you win them all.
Yeah, that's true.
I think all of them, says here, I go rough. All the 15 or more.
That's a good answer. That's a good perspective. Right? You got to kind of learn the rhythm.
Yeah, it takes a little bit. Once you're on, you're on.
Yeah, I do love when he starts to do the callbacks to the mailbox thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I say all that. I am doing something. I am rearranging my whole set, so it couldn't have been worse, actually.
Luckily, this is probably the most supportive group.
That's what I thought. I was like, this is. I hope it's in line with like your style and what you do now. So I was like, oh, okay, that'll also.
This is tried and tested.
Yours.
Comedy setting I've ever done before. Comedy setting.
Yes, but people laugh at like motivational things.
Cool. I just
And plus, if you could be an 8, that just means
I don't know if you could do me a solid.
be like, yeah, that can. He's really struggling.
I can't remember. Do you do the God line? Do you have somebody introduce you?
Lewis comes here about not taking pictures.
Yeah, but definitely help with the images. I think.
Good.
I think it does make it test to be able to go like, hey, the rest of
Make
the
sure
show.
like show.
Yeah, definitely.
Is it collectively known as the God?
Yeah, the hero. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, when I did see that Berkshire show, it said that voice of God.
So I got on stage, like I read the paper and I just saw like, it was event in 2 months. This is like the pre-event to let everyone know. So everyone's going out having drinks, we're setting our goals. And I see that like the goals, whatever, they hit $500,000 like before the event started. So like did that, hyped it up, $500,000, everyone's losing.
What did they
gave me the
hit?
paper to read over. I was supposed to read verbatim on stage, but in my head I'm like, I got this.
This guy. Details.
I got this. So I had to continue the event. It was just a terrible night. I stuck around after the people were like, I know they were waiting for me to walk out the door so they could talk about me. And
Because they were frustrated.
I thought the longer I stayed, the longer it would wait for them to talk about me. It was so.
They need to vent.
And then they called me back like the next because it was they're like, hey, we're no longer gonna have you MC it in 2
Mic check.
weeks. And then they said, you
Mic
can
check.
be the voice of God, and you can do the announcement to say, everyone grab your seats. And that's where I learned the term voice of God. Because they fired me from my volunteer position.
And then promoted me to the voice of God.
Oh my God, I love that. That's a great story. Definitely learned, and that's where I learned the term voice of God. I'm gonna put these up front.
Well, it's a marvelous night for a moon dance with the stars up above in your eyes. A fantabulous night to make romance neath the cover of October skies. You know the leaves on the trees are falling to the sound of the breezes that blow. You know I'm trying to please to the calling of your heartstrings that play soft and low. You know the night's magic seemed to whisper and hush. You know the soft moonlight seems to shine in your blush. Can I just have one more morning dance with you, oh, my love? Can I just make some more romance with you, oh, my love? Well, I wanna make love to you tonight. I can't wait till the morning has come. Yet I know now the time is just right, and straight into my arms you will run. And when you come, my heart will be waiting to make sure that you're never alone. There and then all my dreams will come true, dear. There and then I will make you my own. And every time I touch you, you just travel inside. then I know how much you want me that you can't hide.
Hey mama, how do you get a red wine stain out of your favorite dress? Black mascara off a pillowcase, curing one too many headaches. Mama, can I come and maybe stay a few days this weekend or next? And hey, how do you get a red wine stain out of your favorite dress? How does he sleep at night? Mama, the nerve of this guy to leave me so easy. Am I gonna be alright? I wanna kick myself for falling so hard. Mama, can you die from a broken heart? Can you ask Daddy if he's got time to come and look at my front door? It got slammed last night, and now it don't close right. And just promise that you won't tell him everything, and keep that pistol in the drawer. Mama, please don't say I'm gonna laugh about this someday. You didn't see the way he drove away. How does he sleep at night? Mama, the nerve of this guy to leave me so easy. Am I gonna be alright? I wanna kick myself for falling so hard. Mama, can you die from a broken heart? Oh, broken heart. Can your knees give out from praying so hard? Can you go blind from crying in the dark? Was it ever really real if he don't feel like I feel? How does he sleep at night? Mama, the nerve of this guy to leave me so easy. Am I gonna be alright? How does he sleep at night? Mama, the nerve of this guy to leave me so easy. Am I gonna be alright? I wanna kick myself for falling so hard. Mama, can you die from a broken heart? A broken heart.
Like Cam was in Margaritaville and then fucked up and luckily they ran it and then just dropped him on there. So
Well, so I'll think about it. You know, for now, it's fine. Sorry.
Last night we let the liquor talk. I can't remember everything we said, but we said it all. You told me that you wish I was somebody you never met. But baby, baby, something's telling me this ain't over yet. No way it was our last night. I kissed your lips, make you grip the sheets with your fingertips. Last bottle of Jack, we split a fifth. Just talking about life, going sip for sip. Yeah, you know you love to fight, and I say shit I don't mean, but I'm still gonna wake up wanting you and me. I know that last night we let the liquor talk. I can't remember everything we said, but we said it all. You told me that you wish I was somebody you never met, but baby, baby, something's telling me this ain't over yet. No way it was our last night. No way it was our last night. No way it was the last night that we break up. I see your taillights in the dust. You call your mama, I call your bluff. In the middle of the night, pull her
The smell of your skin lingers on me now. Probably on your flight back to your hometown. I need some shelter of my own protection, baby. Be with myself in center, clarity, peace, serenity. I hope you know, I hope you know that this has nothing to do with you.
This thing's forever since the DSL.
Myself and I, we got some straightening out to do, and I'm gonna miss you like a child misses that blanket, but I've gotta get a move on with my life. It's time to be a big girl now, and big girls don't cry. Don't cry, don't cry, don't cry.
Yeah, Steve, you want to give me a sample?
Path that I'm
Check, mic check, check. Hey, check, mic, hey,
must take the
hey, hello, check, mic check. Cool.
Pretty good. Thank you. Ah, perfect.
fairy tales don't always have a happy ending, do they? And I foresee the dark ahead if I stay. I hope you know, I hope you know that this has nothing to do with you. It's personal, myself and I. We got some straightening out to do, and I'm gonna miss you like a child misses that blanket, but I've gotta get a move on with my life. It's time to be a big girl now, and big girls don't cry like a little schoolmate in the schoolyard. We'll play Jackson, Uno cards. I'll be your best friend, and you'll be my Valentine. Yes, you can hold my hand if you want to, 'cause I wanna hold yours too. We'll be playmates and lovers and share our secret worlds. But it's time for me to go home. It's getting late and dark outside. I need to be with myself in center, clarity, peace, serenity. I hope you know, I hope you know that this has nothing to do with you. It's personal, myself and I. We got some straightening out to do, and I'm gonna miss you like a child misses that blanket, but I've gotta get a move on with my life. It's time to be a big girl now.
Big girls don't cry. Don't cry, don't cry.
You just want a straight to the back of the room shot?
You tell me what looks best. Actually, ask Michael.
We could go up there in the corner too.
Okay. Hey,
We're gonna ask Mike real quick.
yeah.
Give me 2 more seconds up there. And let me see.
time of forgotten words I never got to say. You only need a roof when it's raining. You only need a fire when it's cold. You only need a drink when the whiskey is the only thing that you have left to hold. Sun comes up and goes back down. The fall feels like flying till you hit the ground. Say the word and I'll be there for you. Baby, I will be your parachute. Parachute. If you think you're going down, just know I will be around. You only need a roof when it's raining. You only need a fire when it's cold. You only need a drink when the whiskey is the only thing that you have left to hold. Sun comes up and goes back down. Fall feels like flying till you hit the ground. Say the word and I'll be there for you. Baby, I will be your
'cause all that's waiting is regret. And don't you know I'm not your ghost anymore? You lost the love I loved the most. I learned to live half a life. Now you want me one more time. And who do you think you are? Running around leaving scars.
stones. You know we keep a road full of things. You don't wanna leave me alone. Baby, at the end of the day, I got problems, I got demons. You still love me for some reason. I know you got me when I fall, cause you want all of it, all of it all. You got moves, but I like seasons. Push and pull me, I ain't leaving. I'm still right here, ready to call, cause I want all of it, all of it all.
Just a reminder, we got open seats at the front row. If anyone is looking for a place to sit, the front row is a great place to sit.
Dance with me under the diamonds. See me like breath in the cold. Sleep with me here in the silence. Come kiss me silver and gold. You say that I won't lose you, but you can't predict the future. So just hold on like you will never let go. If you ever move on without me, I need to make sure you know that you are the only one I'll ever love. Yeah, you. If it's not you, it's not anyone. Looking back on my life, you're the only good I've ever done. Yeah, you. If it's not you, it's not anyone. Not anyone. Forever's not enough time to love you the way that I want. 'Cause every morning I find you, I feel the day that we're done. stay humble and kind. Go to church 'cause your mom insists. Visit grandpa every chance that you can. It won't be wasted time. Always stay humble and kind. Oh, the door, say please, say thank you. Don't steal, don't cheat, and don't lie. I know you got mountains to climb, but always stay humble and kind. When the dreams you're dreaming come to you, when the work you put in is realized, let yourself feel the pride, but always stay humble and kind. Don't expect a free ride from no one. Don't hold a grudge or a chip, and here's why. Bitterness keeps you from flying. Always stay humble and kind. Know the difference between sleeping with someone and sleeping with someone you love. I love you ain't no pickup line, so always stay humble and kind. Hold the door, say please, say thank you. Don't steal, don't cheat, and don't lie. I know you got mountains to climb, but always stay humble and kind. When those dreams you're dreaming come to you, when the work you put in is realized, let yourself feel the pride, but always stay humble and kind. When it's hot, eat a root beer popsicle. Shut off the AC and roll the windows down. Let that summer sun shine. Always stay humble and kind. Don't take for granted the love this life gives you. When you get where you're going, don't forget, turn back around. Help the next one in line. Always stay humble and kind.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is what we have all been waiting for. Please put your phones away, no heckling, have fun, and put your hands together for our host this evening, Pastor Michael Dennis.
Oh, y'all keep it going. Come on now. Yeah. All righty. Welcome to Clean Comedy for a Cause. So good to be with you here tonight. We got a great show for you. My name is Michael. I'm the pastor at North Village Church, but we're so excited to raise money to laugh for a cause. Isn't that great? You get to laugh and help people. Thank you, Penny. Come on now. Yeah, we're going to give some money tonight to a nonprofit called Girl Start. Y'all put your hands up for Girl Start. Yeah, Girl Start exists to empower women, young women, girls up and coming in STEM. Science, technology, I think the E. Oh, we're clapping already? Yeah, keep it going. Yeah. I think E is entertainment. Is that it? No, that's engineering, mathematics. Do we have staff here from Girl Start? Anybody from Girl Start? I know we have some. Some of y'all met me on the way in. Yeah, put your hands up high. Yeah, keep it going. Because of y'all's commitment to laughing, we're going to be able to give them a check for $1,500 tonight. Isn't that awesome? Yeah, that's so fun. And we got a great lineup of comedians. We did have to lose Kerry Phillips. He didn't die, but he wasn't able to make the trip to Austin. But we do have Dr. Matt Evans with us, doing new comedy for us here tonight. We love Matt Evans. If you guys don't know, he is a doctor of horses. He's a horse veterinarian out of Dripping Springs. And he's recently written a book called Chomping at the Bits. Isn't that great? Because he didn't grow up around horses. People told him he couldn't do it, and he proved them wrong. And so his book is on Amazon. You can pre-order it now. I'm sure he'll tell you more about it. But we're super excited about Matt Evans. We're super excited about our headliner, Cam F. Awesome. Isn't that great? If you guys don't know, Cam F. Awesome is literally going around the nation right now, getting paid tons of money to speak to people, make them laugh, make them cry, and we get them here tonight. What a treat. Isn't that awesome? And of course, you got me, right? The gift that keeps giving. Thank you. So good. For those of you who don't know, I am a pastor, and I have been dabbling in comedy here in Austin, and that's right. You know, the world has gotten so bad that God is now sending pastors to bars and clubs and shows around Austin, right? There's hope, right? Yeah, I love it. You know, I tell them that I'm like a spiritual Liam Neeson, right? I say, look, I don't know who you are, but I will find you, and I will pray for you. I'll pray for you right now, yeah, if I have to. I sense some of you might not be a people of faith. You might be getting a little nervous, and so I just want to let you know right out of the gate, I'm not Catholic. Yeah, you guys are going to have fun with this. Yeah, heck yeah, we're going to laugh. You know, telling people you're a pastor doing stand-up comedy is a little bit like a vegan at a barbecue. Like, people are nice to me and all, but they're just waiting for me to leave, you know. Like, come on, pastor, it's time for you to go. Yeah. It's because I live in this kind of weird space as a pastor. Like, I'm supposed to have answers, you know? Like, when people have problems, they'll come to me. And, like, I'm supposed to be in control of life, you know, and be there for people. But if I'll be honest with you, like, man, my life is anything but in control. Like, sometimes it feels like it's just kind of spinning out. Like, I was at a Wells Fargo over by the Domain recently, like a bank building. Like, when's the last time you've been to a bank building, right? And I walked inside, and the lady behind the counter, she was like, sir, you know, everything you need here, it's online. And I was like, yeah, well, I'm already here, so let's do this. She's like, yes, sir, but everything you need, it's on the app. And I just stopped her right there. I said, look, lady, I work as a pastor. Like, I already deal with one invisible entity all week. Like, I don't need another, right? Like, I want to see my money face to face when I'm disappointing it. You know, I don't want to wait for those judgmental emails. Just life feels out of control sometimes. And it's not just like when I'm out in the city in Austin, like even in my home. Like, I walked into our bedroom the other day, and my wife has purchased the same pair of shoes, same color, same size, and I'm like, babe, what are we doing? She looked at me like that was the dumbest thing I could have asked. Like, this whole time they told us that we should invest in technology companies, and I'm like, we should be investing in companies that make cardboard boxes. Like, every time my wife clicks, you know, purchase, I can hear a tree in Oregon start to cry. It's just chaos. And then don't get me started on these Amazon drivers. Like, our guy was walking past us the other day, and he's like, hey, bud, how do you like those sheets you got for your bed? I was like, what? Like, this whole time they told us to, you know, watch out for Alexa. I need to be watching out for Steve, the Amazon driver. It's like, stop looking at my packages, Steve. As he's walking off, he's like, tell Holly I'll see her tomorrow. I'm like, no, you won't, Steve. Like, stop it. My marriage feels a little chaotic sometimes, and then I got these adult kids. I got adult children living at home. Do we got any adult children living at home? Come on now. We got to stay together. Nothing will bring a husband and wife closer together than adult children living at home. Yeah. I used to want my adult children to move out of the house. Now I'd be happy if my adult children just moved their dishes out of the sink, you know? Like, I walked through our kitchen the other day, and there's like salsa splatter, there's a Whataburger bag, and I'm like a detective. Like, what happened, you know? No forced sign of entry, just lazy adult children. And don't get me wrong, like, I love my children. When kids are little, they're the best, right? They would walk into our room in the middle of the night, and they'd be like, Daddy, I'm scared. And I was like, oh, I'd scoop them up. Now they walk in our room, and I'm scared. Just like, get out of here. Like, why are you? No, I mean, when they're little, you know, they hug you for no reason. But now as adult children, like, they'll send these text messages, and I'm like, who are we kidding? They never send us text messages. Sometimes I'll change the password on Paramount Plus just so I can hear from my adult children. I mean, weeks will go by, and then immediately they'll call. And I'll tell them the password, and they'll say thank you. And then as we're hanging up the phone, I whisper, for everything. I was talking to my adult daughter recently, and, you know, she asked me my opinion about her life. And I was like, don't mess this up. This is it. This is what we've been praying for. Like, it can happen. And then she went out and did the exact opposite of what we talked about. Yeah, my wife and I had the best sex that night. Yeah, that's what, like adult, you know, adult children living in a home, like, you don't need to go to that marital conference. You just, like, keep them there. Yeah. Just feels chaotic. Like, even in my professional life, like, I just feel like things are not in control the way I want them to be in control. Like I get these emails from LinkedIn. Like, you've appeared in 12 searches this week. Nothing ever happens. And then LinkedIn will send me another email, and it's like, would you like to appear in more searches? And I'm like, how come, LinkedIn? Like, all you're doing is telling me that people out there know I exist, and they don't care. It's hurtful. And then LinkedIn will send me this email. They're like, wait, what if we added Microsoft Word to your resume? Really, LinkedIn? That's the problem? All these people are searching for me, and then they don't see Microsoft Word in my resume? Not interested. And so my professional life, I feel like, is just a little chaotic. And then now I'm getting into my 50s, and, like, you know, you get into your 50s, and people are like, yay, you're not dead. But I'm getting to a place where, like, when I go down the stairs, like, I got to use a handrail. Yeah. Yeah, I have this medical condition called vertigo, right? And that's right, I'm getting to an age where I have to explain my medical conditions. You know, vertigo is a little bit like IBS. Like, you've heard of it, but you definitely don't want it. Like, one minute I'm fine, the next minute I know the room is just spinning. Young people are like, I'll have what he's having. And I'm like, you don't want it. Yeah, it's just crazy. It's, you know, you're getting older in life, and just, like, I want to, like, have my ducks in a row, and then out of nowhere, like, life just gets, like, more real than I could imagine. Like, because when I was growing up as a kid, my mom was diagnosed with schizophrenia. And, like, now you know how I became a pastor, because it was just normal in our family to talk to invisible entities. And then as she got older, she was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And now you know how I became a comedian, because life just got wild. Right? Like, it was pretty normal for her to walk into our room in the middle of the night, you know, like 2 a.m., and she would whisper into my ear, there's a man in my room. He's trying to kill me. Like, you don't need to watch scary movies when this is your life. It's like a real life, I see dead people. Keep in mind, I've been married 27 years. Like, if I roll over in bed, my wife is like, shh, you're being too loud. Right? But when it comes to a crazy woman talking about seeing dead people, my wife is like, like, not fazed at all. And so I get out of bed, I go and I turn on the lights, show my mom the room is okay, and she looks right at me. And she says, look, He's right there. What are you supposed to do? Like, I'm a pastor. I'm supposed to have answers. And my mom's looking at me. Fortunately, I'm trained in invisible entities. And so I looked at that empty bed and I said, look, bud, everything you need here, it's online. Everything you need here, it's on the app. That's right, yeah. You know what? Because life's not about being in control, right? It's about showing up. It's about showing up. And I'm not even trying to be all pastoral, you know. Like I was in neurology ICU recently. Serious moment. Guys, his brain is bleeding with the family in a circle. Somebody raises their hand and their first thought was, do you think some peppermint oil would help him? They're cutting off the back of his skull. And they're thinking essential oil, like a little dab. And he died. And so it's not about having the right answers, right? It's not about that silver bullet. It's not about, magical pill to make everything better. It's just about showing up. And look, I'm not even trying to be one of those inspirational people, Like, my name is Michael, and it happened tonight. I introduced myself to somebody. He said, nice to meet you, Mike. I'm like, I'm no Mike. Like, we got any Mikes here tonight? Yeah. Mikes are tough guys. Like, Mike probably has a wrench in his back pocket right now, just ready to go. You got Mike Tyson, Jersey Mike's, Mike's Hard Lemonade. I'm much more of a Michaels, Arts and crafts, old ladies. Yeah, so I'm not trying to inspire you. I just wanted to encourage you. It's about showing up. And you showed up tonight, right? You showed up tonight. The comedy's just getting started. So let's put our hands together for Matt Evans. We are going to need to do a little mic change for the recording. So if you can, just pause for a second. Maybe hum a tune to yourself. That would be fantastic. This is our recording guy. Give a round of applause for our recording guy. Boom.
Oh, man, he's fast, too.
All right, right on. I feel like I'm going to go to prom, like I have a boutonniere on now. That's great. Thank you so much. Give it up for Michael Dennis, everybody. Thank you all for coming out on a Saturday night-ish. We're gonna get you home and in bed soon. Yeah. If you're not in bed by 8:30, that's on you. That's your fault. Like Michael said, I'm a horse veterinarian, which makes me a vet. Sometimes sometimes I'll introduce myself as a vet, and people get confused. They think I'm a veteran, and they'll say, "Thank you for your service," and I'm like, "Oh no, you pay me for my service." It gets confusing, and it gets me into trouble. When my oldest daughter was in preschool, she came home one day and was like, "Hey, Dad, they want you to come to school tomorrow to honor you." And I was like, "Obviously." Pretty great. No, hey, I thought it was a job fair, okay? And I thought, sure, I'll come. I don't think any of your classmates are smart enough to get into veterinary school. But I'll come talk down to them for a little while. So, if you had met these kids, you would agree with me. Like, there was this one little boy, he would push his way to the front of every line. That's the future finance bro. A little girl who loved to pick her nose in the noses of her friends. That's the real estate agent. And then a whole group of kids that just love to start projects with Legos and never finish them. Contractors. We have any contractors here tonight? Anybody in the construction business? No? No, they're out just coming in over budget somewhere, I guess. Well, I wish they were here because I have a bone to pick with them. Every time a contractor, anybody in the construction trade comes to my house, they can't get started unless they complain about the last person who worked on whatever it is. Okay? And it's like, I don't know him. I'm not going to DM that guy on Instagram. Yeah. And also, I don't know anything about what you're about to fix, so I'm not impressed. Like we had to have the septic guy out a couple of weeks ago, and I don't understand how our septic system works. But I do know there's not supposed to be poop in our bathtub. So I call him out, and so he's got the top of our septic system off, and he's rooting around in it, no glove. No, I know, yeah. And he's like, well, would you look at that? And I was like, I'm like, here we go, you know, and then he said it again. He was like, well, would you look at that? And I realized it wasn't a rhetorical question. I had to go over there and look at that. And so I went and looked, and it was like a big hole in the ground full of my family's feces. And I know it's a church show. I'm sorry to work dirty. And it was gross, right? But I also was like, that's where I expected it to be. You know, like, so that's why I called you. I didn't think it was supposed to be in the bathtub. And he was like, what was that guy thinking? And I told him, I was like, listen, I don't know what he was thinking. But I'll tell you what I'm thinking is when you first got here, I wish I had not shaken your hand. Actually, I got to the point where I really got along with the septic guy. Like, he gave me an option to fix the septic where he didn't have to replace it, and he said it would last 20 years. And when he said that, he kind of looked me up and down, and he was like, that ought to see you through till you can exit at the gift shop. Which is the most delightful way I've ever been told I look old, and that I am going to die. And, you know, it should have been threatening and insulting, right? But actually, I took a bunch of hope from it, because I was like, you know, like, he was telling me, like, listen, try to enjoy the ride. It's almost over, you know? And don't forget to smile. We're taking pictures. You can buy them at the gift shop. All right, where were we? We're at the job fair. There was not a job fair. I'm sure you are way ahead of me. They were honoring veterans. I was slowly figuring that out. There was a lineup of people up at the front of my daughter's preschool class, and the people on my right were just saying random numbers like 82nd and 7th, and I was like, I'm number 1. The people on my left are just making weird noises like hooah and oorah. And so I made a noise too. I said, uh-oh. Y'all can all relax. I did not lie to those children. I didn't steal valor. That's what they call it if you pretend to be a veteran. We have veterans here tonight. Anybody? Clap it up if you're a veteran. Yeah, raise your hands. Yeah, round of applause. So I did not steal their valor. I did lie to the teacher, though. Yeah. I told her, I was like, listen, I'm an equine veterinarian. There's been an emergency. There's like an 8-horse pileup out on Mopac. I got to get out of here. And I left my daughter to deal with it. I did, yeah. She learned a lot that day. Preschool's about learning, and she got an education. She learned, most of all, that the Evans, we don't steal valor. But later on that summer, we went on vacation, and she was confused, and she was like, so we won't steal valor, but we will steal hotel toiletries. I was like, yes, unless they're in bulk and bolted to the wall, yeah. We're not bringing our own Tupperware on vacation with us. So I am a horse veterinarian, and I do a lot of comedy shows, and all the comics I work with, they have almost no idea what I do for a living, but they do know this. They know that I have access to ketamine. Yeah. And they would like to know if I would sell them some ketamine. I'm always like, no, I didn't bring ketamine to Dirty 6th Street. Yeah. You're going to have to come see me at the office. Yeah. That is a joke and a felony, just to be clear. So the only way you're getting ketamine out of me is if I perform a gilding procedure on you. Okay, most of y'all know what that is. If you don't know what that is, I'm not going to describe it. It's a church show. You know. You can go home and look it up on your iPhones. Look it up on Safe Search. Yeah. Those images get saved to your phone. It will crash your Chick-fil-A app. The other thing people want to buy from me is, especially if you spend too much time like on the wrong side of Facebook or you listen to Joe Rogan, people want to buy ivermectin from me. And if you want to buy ivermectin from me, meet me at the back afterwards. I'll write you a prescription. It's going to be for a library book. Yeah, so library book. We need to stamp out some ignorance. I'll recommend some. You're going to need to do a little light reading on parasitology, pharmacology, toxicology, oncology. None of those are astrology, you'll notice. So the other thing all the comics know that I do is that for part of my job, I have to put not just my hand, but my entire arm up a horse. And I won't tell y'all where, because it's a church show, but you can imagine where this might happen, right? and they love to ask me, like, have you done it today? And I always tell them, absolutely. And then The more astute ones will say, why do veterinarians have to do that? And the answer is for money. Yeah. Be crazy if we did that for free. What an insane hobby. Yeah, if I ever needed to get another job and they were like, well, I'm interviewing and they're like, well, what do you like to do outside of work? And I was like, I don't think you're going to care for this at all. I don't. I haven't done this. Like, I'll stop making this gesture. I'm sorry. I haven't done that today, and the septic story happened a couple of weeks ago. You can shake my hands afterwards. So they are as clean as they get. So yeah, maybe still bump knucks, just to be safe. So I don't do that very often anymore. I do mostly dentistry. That's on the other end of the horse. And it's ironic that I ended up doing mostly horse dentistry because I hate going to the dentist. I hate it so much. I was in the chair last time I was there, and I thought to myself, like, if I ever get a terminal diagnosis, I'm going to be happy I don't have to do this again. And if I'm ever at the doctor and she's like, Matt, I'm so sorry, you only have 6 months to live, I'll immediately get out my phone and she'll be like, listen, we do this a lot. Please tell your family face to face. And I'd be like, no, I'm not texting my wife. I'm canceling my next cleaning. And horses, this is what I hate. Horses hate the dentist even more than I do for a couple of reasons. Number one, we do it at their house. I do farm calls. I come to them. And number two, they don't make their own appointments, right? Y'all know that, right? Like, horses don't call in. Somebody else does it. So I'm always like the worst surprise party ever. I can't even imagine I'm just at home on a Tuesday morning and I see my dentist roll up. Like, who scheduled this? They hate me so much. I have this one horse, his name is Colonel, and his barn's at the bottom of a hill, and his pasture's at the top of the hill. And if I park my car at the bottom of the hill, he will refuse to come down the hill. And that hurts my feeling. But even worse, my work vehicle is a Subaru Outback. Yeah, so think about that. I've made Colonel a homophobic horse. Because of me, he's missing out on meeting a lot of lovable lesbians. Well, I'm not just a horse veterinarian, like Michael said. I'm a writer. I've got a book coming out. It's called Chomping at the Bit. It's about how I became a horse vet against all common sense. It's available. I don't have it with me, but it's available for pre-order. You can get it on Amazon. And I'll just pause for a moment while y'all all order it. It's just order too. It's in September when it comes out. You'll probably make a friend by then, I would think. No, I'm joking. I am very proud of it. It's being published by an imprint of Simon & Schuster, and so I'm very proud to join the ranks of published authors like Hemingway and Fitzgerald. And that one's supposed to be a joke. The very first published author, God. Yeah. How excited was he when he found out that he was going to get published? Like he got off the phone and he was like, Mary, that was Gutenberg. They're doing my book. She's like, I bet they make you cut Deuteronomy. Yeah, there's a lot about that joke that's incorrect, and I bet I've offended some of y'all, so let's just work our way through it, right? So, first of all, I know the printing press was invented a long time before the telephone, but God lives in heaven. He's probably always had cell service. Number two, I know that God is not married to Mary, but she is Jesus' mom, so I bet they hang out. I also don't like the idea of God just finding out his book's going to be published and just having to keep it to himself. Like just sitting there and being like, wait till Satan hears about this. This is going to burn him up. The last thing about this I know is not true. Like Gutenberg was not God's first publisher. We know who it was. It was the medieval monks who would copy the Bible over and over again. Although God had to be frustrated with those guys. Like they did not crank them out very fast, right? And when he got a copy, he could see why. He's like, you're illustrating every page? Knock it off with the calligraphy. Well, as proud as I am that it's being published, I am embarrassed by the book a little bit because it's a memoir, which means at some point in my life, I walked into Book People, went up and down both floors full of books, and was like, you know what this place needs? A book about me. And I know just the guy to write it. I was on TikTok the other day, and I found one of those, they have those things where you can diagnose yourself with many mental illnesses, which is just great. And this one was like, are you a narcissist? And so the first question was, have you considered writing a memoir? And I was like, am way past considering. It is in editing. Yeah. The next question was, have you considered trying stand-up comedy? And I was like, I'm through with this quiz. I'm not famous, and nobody asked me to write it, so that almost should have to be the title of my book, just, Oh No Thank You, the Matt Evans story. The blurb on the front from the New York Times would read, we don't know why he wrote this. All right, so here's why I wrote it, because like Michael said, I wasn't raised around horses, and I became a horse vet, which makes my story like a classic fish out of water story, which is the basis for a lot of comedy. Like the most recent example on TV that I can think of, y'all probably all know, is Ted Lasso. So y'all can think of me like the Ted Lasso of horse vets. Yeah, except for the cool mustache, amazing dance moves, likability. Yeah. I do like a V-neck sweater, though, too. I do, yeah. It was an uphill battle. There's a lot of gatekeeping in the horse world. So when horse people found out I wanted to be a horse vet, they treated me kind of like they would treat me if I showed up at cosmetology school with this bald head. Like, no, you obviously know nothing about hair. I am bald. I'm sure y'all noticed. Yeah. I want you to know I'm disappointed in it, too. I am. Listen, people treat me like I chose to be bald. And I want you to know I didn't. I would have loved to have had hair, been a Harry. That's what we call y'all. Did you know that? Harrys, yeah. I bet you get free coffee when you go places. No? People equate being a bald guy. There's a lot of bald guys in the front row. I'm sorry about these jokes. People equate being a bald guy with being a bad guy. And if you don't believe me, next time you're watching a movie and a bald character comes on screen, ask yourself this one question. Is that character being played by Jason Statham? And if the answer is no, you're looking at the villain. Yeah. That's actually only if the bald character is really buff. If the bald character looks like me, you're looking at the victim. Yeah. If I walk onto a screen, you don't have to learn this character's name. Like, I am not making it to the next scene. And I know you are thinking, like, Matt, what you should do is, like, work out so you could at least be a villain instead of a victim. And I want you to listen to me. I'm trying, okay? You would not believe how hard I work to look this bad. Like, I went for a jog this morning, and you're like, good job, that's a good start. But I've been jogging for 30 years, and it's not working. I've taken up swimming. We got any swimmers here? Yeah, all right. Just a few. No hands raised. I guess their shoulders are sore. So I want y'all to know I hate swimming. I hate it so much. Swimming is like jogging while being waterboarded. I hate swimming so much that I have no idea where we got the phrase that if something is going well, it's going swimmingly. If you ask me how a project's going and I tell you it's going swimmingly, what I mean is I'm exhausted. I feel like I'm drowning. The only part of this I like at all is that anytime I want, I can pee my pants. I think I'm going to quit swimming, and here's why. The other day I was in the pool, and there was a guy next to me, and he was so much better at swimming than I was. He would do 2 laps for every lap I would do. And he took no breaks. I took all the breaks. And then we got out of the pool at the same time, and I looked over at him, and his body looked just as bad as mine. And I was horrified. I had no idea that was an option to get like way better at swimming and still look this bad. That's the exact opposite of what I want. What I want is to get really skinny and never have to swim again. That's my goal. Well, it's about time for me to wrap up and bring up y'all's headliner. But before I go, I just want to say thank you again to North Village Church for hosting this. Clap it up for North Village. And thank you to Michael Dennis. This was his brainchild. I love the idea that we come out and we laugh, we join each other, we have such a great time, and we raise money for a good cause. And so this is my 3rd time doing a show here, and each time Michael says, Matt, just because we're doing a show at a church does not mean you have to include church jokes. And what I think he means by that is, Matt, stop telling church jokes. So with that in mind, I'm going to close with a couple of church jokes. Yeah. I think out loud prayer is just a speech that's so bad we all have to avert our eyes. It's like the pastor's like, I didn't prepare anything for this one, so you might want to look down. Please bow your heads. Yeah, I don't even know why we pray out loud like for a long time like that, because Jesus said when you pray, do it in private, don't make a scene. And I guess the Christians were like, well, you can't believe everything he said. I don't know why we quote scripture to God during prayers, because me and God, we're both writers, and once you edit a book 15 times, you don't need to be reminded what's in it. Yeah, he knows. He's omniscient. He's got it down. You all ever go to one of those churches where people will raise their hand while somebody else prays? If I'm sitting next to those people, I'll be like, you can put it down. He's not going to call on you. This is obviously a one-man show. If I'm at a church and there's a lot of people with their arms raised and it's going to be a really long prayer, what I'll do is organize my pew and we'll start gambling on who drops their arm first. There's this one lady at our church, she's older, and she can keep her arm up, near as I can tell, forever. And so I've made so much money, people betting against her. So I asked her after the service, I was like, how do you do it? And she says, I'm a swimmer. And I was like, of course you are. Of course you are. Yeah. So I'm guessing that the reason I'm not going to get into heaven is that I gamble on fellow parishioners during church. But honestly, based on how heaven is portrayed in pop culture, I don't know that I want to go. Like, I like to look at clouds. I don't want to live on one, right? That's water vapor. Talk about humid. Yeah. Think about what that'll do to my hair. And I do plan to have hair in heaven. Yeah. I don't want to spend eternity in a robe. I won't wear a robe at a hotel. That's one of the few things I won't steal from a hotel. And you guys have been a good crowd, so I don't want to be too controversial, but I'm just going to come out and say this. I don't like harp music. I don't. If I see a harp in heaven, it better be on a Guinness tap. And I think the reason I'm left with like pop culture ideas for heaven is that the Bible's not very descriptive. Like Jesus said, my Father's house has many rooms, but my question is like, what's the bathroom situation? Are we talking ensuite, Because when I was in college, I lived in a dorm with a communal bathroom, and that was not paradise. It was not. We don't even know if God's house is nice. We think God should have a big, nice mansion. The Bible's been a bestseller for years. Yeah. Multiple film adaptations. But Jesus says we're supposed to be poor in spirit. And I'm like, what do you mean by that? The airline? They closed. That's not good. Jesus was describing his Father's house 2,000 years ago, so he could have been describing like the nicest house ever, and it would not have had indoor plumbing. So I'm going to get there and check in and be like, this room is amazing, but I don't see a bathroom, and they'll just point to a chamber pot, and I'm like, and then what? And they'll just point out the window, and I'm like, I don't even know why y'all bothered having the streets paved in gold. This is not going to do. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I'll be like, actually, we can fix this. I know a guy. I know a septic guy. Well, I think heaven's going to be great. I think it'll be less like a Ritz-Carlton and more like an airport Hampton Inn. Like it's always open. There's room for everyone. And I'll be happy with that because my favorite thing about a Hampton Inn is the breakfast buffet. Yeah, I think Texas-shaped waffles, that is heaven. Right? Yeah, I do. The only thing I don't like about that idea is that I'm worried, what I don't like about a Hampton Inn is that they have families go there. Like, I don't want children in heaven. Oh, that's the controversial thing, not the heart. I want children to go to heaven, but I want them to get their own, right? Like a heaven daycare. That way, you could run into an angel and be like, what do you do around here? I hope it's not play the harp. And they'll be like, no, I work over at the children's daycare. And I'll be like, thank you for your service. And he's like, oh no, your gambling debts pay for my service. All right, thank you guys. Give it up for Michael Dennis, everybody.
You can leave the stage. Yeah. Yeah, let's give it up for Matt Evans. Yeah. So good. It's unfortunate this will be the last time we see him do comedy here at North Village Church, but hey, you can always come at 10:30 tomorrow morning, Matt. We'd love to have you. Love to have you. Hey, our next comic he's a championship boxer, right? So you better laugh. You know what I'm saying? Y'all put your hands together for Cam F. Awesome.
What's up, guys? How you doing? Yeah. Public speaking is my day job. This is my night job. Yeah, both jobs pretty similar. Only difference is at corporate events, the drunks have to hide it better. Yeah. I do public speaking, which apparently is a great fear. It's like just as scary as death, and I don't buy it. Yeah. I think the surveyors just asked the question weird. They're probably like, hey, from a 1 to 10, how nervous do you get to do public speaking? Cool. Now do death. I feel like that's kind of leading. You should ask that question at a funeral. It's like go up to someone sobbing. Hey, quick question. Sorry for your loss. You don't know me. I'm conducting a survey. Would you rather be the speaker or the corpse? Yeah, I feel like that would be real data. Yeah. People always like, hey, Cam, are you afraid to do public speaking? I'm like, no, not at all. I used to be a boxer. Way higher stakes. Like, honestly, if tonight doesn't go well, worst case scenario, a few of you check your phone. If boxing doesn't go well, I wake up horizontally with strangers clapping. Yeah. Boxing, it's a weird profession. Boxing's a weird profession because, you know, you train 3 months to fight one dude who's been training 3 months to murder you. And that's quite a commitment. 3 months thinking about one man. I've had relationships that haven't lasted 3 months. And it's crazy. They just like put you in the ring in like with a mouthpiece and pajama shorts. They're like, don't die. Yeah, there's judges sitting around the ring. They're not judging technique. Their job is basically to say, if this continued on, which one of you would die first? And then that's my job as a boxer. And then they bring you to the middle of the ring at the end of the fight, and they give you a microphone. The sports reporter's like, Cam, you've been talking a lot of junk on Instagram for the last 3 months. It looked like your opponent manhandled you the entire fight. How do you feel? Well, I feel like public speaking's not that hard. Yeah. Weird thing is I got into boxing not even because I was tough. I got into boxing, honestly, because I was dealing with a lot of bullying in elementary school. It got pretty bad. In elementary school, they would release me from school 10 minutes early at the end of the day because there was a bully who would beat me up every time he saw me. So I got to leave at the end of the day 10 minutes early so I could get home before he got to me, which seems like less of a solution to the problem and more of a hostage negotiation. And like now I look back, it sucked because that walk home was very influential. It's when I started to tell myself the story of why I was leaving early. And it was abundantly clear. I was afraid, I was a coward, I couldn't defend myself. And as people, we have an amazing ability to tell ourselves a story and play our character's role to a T. You see, me, I'm good at avoiding confrontation. In middle school, I volunteered in the nurse's office during my lunch hour because I was afraid to be in the cafeteria around all of those students in case a fight broke out, which sounds noble, but it wasn't. I was just filing students' medical files during my lunch hour. And in 7th grade, there was this girl that I liked, and I didn't really know how to talk to girls yet. So I thought I'd read her medical file. Find out something about her, bring it up casually. We fall in love. You've seen the movies. And I read her file. Turns out she was adopted. And that's crazy because I couldn't wait to tell her that I was adopted. I wasn't adopted. That's how she found out she was adopted. And that's a story of the first time I was fired from a volunteer position. And then they sent me back to the lunchroom, which was my greatest fear, because I was just anxiously avoiding a fight. That never did happen. Until my first week in high school, in 9th grade, I got into my first fight. And unfortunately, I lost that fight. But in my defense, she was very strong. Yeah, not how you want to start your high school story getting beat up by a girl. So by like 11th grade, I was like, we should probably learn how to defend ourselves. So I decided to join the boxing gym because I was like, if I look like a boxer, people would leave me alone. That was my objective. Now, I've never made a team before, but going to the boxing gym, I got to, like, I never made a team before. I tried out for every team. I was cut off every single team, with the exception in 8th grade, I got injured before tryouts were over. Like, I'm not very athletic, but I am Mr. TNT. I do things that take no talent. I show up early, I ask good questions, I give full effort. And guys, you'll be surprised how far that takes you in life. That took me to winning my first boxing match ever. I was 1-0, undefeated as a human being. I had never competed in anything besides that one boxing match and a bunch of games of Monopoly. And y'all don't want that smoke. I'm the type that finishes the game of Monopoly. Yeah. Now, I want to know, obviously, the greatest thing to happen to the sport of boxing. My second fight was in the Bronx, New York. And although we were in the Bronx, you would have assumed we were in Puerto Rico. The audience, bells, drums, whistles, maracas, all Puerto Ricans. My opponent standing across the ring from me, also Puerto Rican. And I remember thinking before the opening bell rang, looking out into the audience and thinking to myself, there are going to be a lot of upset Puerto Ricans tonight. I lost that fight. Turns out Puerto Ricans, historically great fighters. Yeah, I learned on the drive home, I remember asking my coach, what does a loss mean for my potential career? Can I not turn pro? Do I lose ranking points? What does it mean? And he just looked at me, he's like, oh, you didn't get the bigger trophy. I was like, huh? He's like, there's two trophies. There's a big trophy and a small trophy. I said, correct. He said, you didn't get the bigger one. He went on to explain to me what I fought in was called a smoker show, a one-night pop-up event where boxers go to gain experience for tournaments that actually matter. And this changed my whole boxing story because I realized a loss is just an opportunity to gain experience. Here's what it looks like. Boxer A has 3 boxing matches. Boxer B has 100. You're going to place a bet. Who do you bet on? The 100. You don't even need to know their record. It could be 5 wins and 95 losses. That's how powerful experience is. So when I started boxing, being undefeated was out of the window. So now my plan was, I'm just going to be the most experienced boxer. That was like, you can't lose, right? If I just keep losing, I'll have more fights than everyone. That was my plan. Like at the end of my 11th grade year, I was 2-2 as a boxer. I won my 3rd fight, and I re-challenged that Puerto Rican. They're still really good fighters. Now, the start of my senior year of high school, my parents pick up and move from New York to Florida. This would be devastating for a high school senior, but for me, it was a fresh start. No one in Florida knows I got beat up by a girl. And I thought about it. I realized I don't have to tell them. I wasn't going to. I realized I could tell them anything I want. I can literally be anyone I want. Me could develop a Jamaican accent, I know the difference. Now, I didn't develop a Jamaican accent, but some of you are old enough to get this reference. There was a show back in the day, Family Matters. Steve Urkel, the main character, would drink a potion and he would turn into Stefan Urkel. I'm sorry, that was a black TV show. I should have read my audience. I should have given a Full House quote or something. The idea was I was just going to be a cooler version of myself. So the first thing I did is when I moved from New York to Florida, I stopped wearing glasses. because the character Stefan wore contacts. I also left New York as Cameron, and when I got to Florida, I introduced myself to everyone as Cameron. And I introduced myself as this funny, charming, outgoing boxer who had been boxing for 5 years. I lied. But they believed it. I didn't. Now, my boxing gym was 6 miles away from my high school. So every day after the gym, I had a 3-hour walk, 5 days a week. Now, do you guys remember iPods? Yeah, I didn't have one. Which meant I was just stuck with my thoughts for 3 hours a day. You people who run without music. So I was stuck with my thoughts, so I decided to start making up stories. But unlike in elementary school, this time I decided if I was going to be the author of the story, I was going to make myself the hero. So it's fair to say I was kicking butt in all these stories. I had all the money, all the cars, all the championship belts. This was not true. I knocked everyone out. I struck fear in the hearts of my opponents. Again, not true. But I noticed something. A direct correlation between how highly I spoke about myself for 3 hours on the way to the gym and how well I performed when I got there. And the better I performed at the gym, the more excited I was for that 3-hour walk. 3 hours a day, 5 days a week, I was patting myself on the back, telling myself I was amazing, I'm unstoppable, I could do anything, I'm a champion. It created a feedback loop of confidence, and I started beating boxers I had no business beating. Now, during the same time, my teammate, who was 16, was also fighting a 16-year-old, but his opponent had tattoos. And he came to me, he's like, Cameron, you see the dude I'm fighting, he's got tattoos. Can you even have tattoos at 16? That boy's a man. And then I watched my more talented teammate lose a fight he could have easily won because he told himself a story. He couldn't beat a 16-year-old with tattoos. We all do that in some form or fashion in our lives. We tell ourselves stories every moment of the day. Stories about who we are, what we're capable of, what we deserve. What's the story you've been telling lately? The story can be so simple you don't even hear it. I'm too old to start over. Or I'll never be as smart as my sister. Let that go. Or people like me don't get great opportunities. Whatever story you've been telling yourself, you heard that story so often it stops sounding like a story and starts feeling like truth. Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. At 17, I asked myself a very powerful question. What would it look like if I thought I could? I'd have to act like Kanye. That I have to believe in myself obnoxiously. The old Kanye, by the way. Yeah, the old Kanye, of course, yeah. This new Kanye is a little weird. The idea is like I was just gonna obnoxiously talk great about myself, and I'm grateful for that delusion because I decided I can't become a different person if I continue to speak to myself like I'm in the situation I'm in. So I would have to speak excellence into myself, and I have to be delusional, and I'm grateful for that delusion because within 2 years of boxing, I qualified for the 2008 Olympic trials. And let me tell y'all, I felt famous. Yeah. I made it into the newspaper. Back when it was still relevant. It was actually still made out of paper. Yeah, another reason why I felt famous, I was popping on MySpace. Okay, MySpace is like, you know how like your parents are on Facebook and then you went to Instagram? They started on Facebook and there was like MySpace before. Everyone wanted to be in my top 8, all right? I made a post on my MySpace wall, which is an older sentence than some of us want to fathom. And I said, I'm gonna win the 2008 Olympic trials. And I lost the first day. It sucked. I got out of the ring, tears in my eyes. I had the thought, oh man, what are people gonna think on MySpace? I know, it was rough. I lost that fight, I lost the Olympic trials. I flew back home to Florida, picking up extra shifts at Waffle House, trying to figure out what am I gonna do with my life now. And if you've never been to a Waffle House, I'll describe it. Think of the dirtiest food truck your mind can conjure up. Now imagine that food truck is so big, it has a bathroom. Waffle House is the bathroom. There's a lot of downtime on a 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. shift at Waffle House. So I had a lot of time with my thoughts. And I was like, okay, like I just qualified for the 2008 Olympic trials. How did this happen? I looked at my life, I tried to figure everything out. And the only thing I could come up with is that it was the words in my head was shaping the future I was walking into. It was the best way I could describe it. Give me grace, but at the age of 17, I thought I invented manifestation. I realized, like, okay, the story I was telling myself in my head qualified me for the Olympic trials. Well, if that story qualified me for the Olympic trials, that means I have power. Then that would mean the story I'm telling myself is why I'm stuck at Waffle House. So I decided I was going to change the story I was telling myself. So I told myself I would continue boxing, because all the boxers who lost in the Olympic trials either quit or turns pro. If everyone who loses quits or turns pro and I don't, aren't I automatically the best? Think about it. In life, every time you fail, that's when you're in the best position to succeed. You have experience on your side. So that was my thought. And I showed up, I lost the Olympic trials in January of 08. When I showed up to nationals, September of 08, all the boxers looked at me as the most experienced boxer, the boxer to beat, the boxer from the last Olympic cycles. That was their story. It became mine. I ended up winning nationals in 2008. And then I had the thought, now that I'm the #1 boxer in the country, I could finally fulfill my mission of getting my own TV show. Okay. Hear me out. In 2008, everyone was getting their own reality show. And I was like, if Snooki can do it. Spoiler alert, I never did get that show. But I just kept boxing. And I ended up winning nationals in 2009, 2010, 2011. And then 2012, I won the United States Olympic trials to represent the U.S. in the London Olympics. And this is when I became not the third, not the second, but the first boxer in United States history to be suspended and kicked off the Olympic team for not filling out paperwork. I know. I was there. Here's the thing, I didn't even fail a drug test. I failed to send an email. I left the country to fight in Azerbaijan, a place I've been 4 times but still can't spell without spell check. And I forgot to tell the drug testing agency I was leaving the country. And they showed up to my home in Kansas City to give me a random test. I wasn't there. A missed test is a positive test. I was suspended for a positive drug test, even though I tested negative that same week to compete in the World Championships. Heartbroken. You ever make a mistake so big, you wonder, is there anyone I could share blame with? It was one of those situations, and it was tough for me because like I was living in Kansas City, this was 2012. If you know anything about sports, not a great time to be from Kansas City. This is before the Royals won the World Series. This is before the Chiefs became a dynasty. This is before Taylor Swift cared who we were. I was the only thing winning in Kansas City, so I'd be in the newspaper a lot. And people would see me out in Walmart. Yes, I'm a Walmart person. Don't judge me. I'd be in Walmart. They're like, hey, you're the boxer dude. I'm like, yeah. They're like, you ready for the Olympics? I'm like, you know it. And then I got kicked off the Olympic team, and I didn't post about it online because I was embarrassed. So people would see me in Walmart and approach me with that same energy. Like, hey, man, you're the boxer dude, right? And I'm like, kinda. Like, you ready for the Olympics? I'm like, you see, what did happen was, and every time I tell the story, I mention the term drug test, I see them physically pull back. They're like, oh, smoking weed, doing steroids? Neither. I just forgot a small detail. And honestly, the reason why I wanted to pursue boxing is I wanted to be an entertainer of some sort. I wanted to be on TV. I wanted my own show, and I took a look at my life, and I was like, I've been to like 20 countries representing Team USA, and I've never done any performing. I've just been being punched a lot. And I thought, well, I'm gonna go start doing stand-up comedy, and I started going to open mic nights during my year of suspension, because it's what sad people do when they're sad. And I was like, oh, this is it. I'm going to be a stand-up comic. And then I realized what we get paid. And I was like, I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to keep fighting. So I had to get back to boxing, and it's my mistake. I didn't send that email. I eat that, all right? There's a lot of things I was eating during that time, because although I was no longer an athlete, I continued to eat like one. You ever realize you never notice yourself get taller? Same thing happens with weight. Somewhere during my depression, I gained 60 pounds, and I had to lose the weight before I returned to the sport. Obviously, I know how to do that. I'm an athlete. You go to a gym, you work out, you burn it off. I started going to the gym for a few days, I would fall off. I'd start again, and I'd fall off. I couldn't get myself going. I lost my rhythm. I lost my magic. I lost my camera on. One day, looking in the mirror, I'm like, you idiot, you fat loser. How did we get here? And in that moment, I realized there was a difference between me in 2012 and the me that walked to the gym in high school. One of us liked me. How do you talk to you? Not during the good times, not during the bad times, during everyday life. When you make a mistake, how quickly are you to forgive yourself? How much grace do you give you? Because I realize the way you talk to yourself determines what you do next. How would you feel if your child spoke to you the way you speak to yourself? How would you feel if your child spoke to themselves the way you speak to yourself? And if you have grandchildren, think of them. We know you like them more. But the idea is I realized everything I won is because I was talking very highly to myself. And I needed to get back to being a champion in my own story, so I did what any respectable adult would do in this situation. I went to City Hall, I spent $178, and I legally changed my last name to Awesome. Did you know you could do that? And first of all, I think that's so silly that you could do that. Also, you can do that. You cannot change your name to Doctor. It would have been so much better. I'll be honest, when I changed my last name to Awesome, I wasn't really feeling highly of myself. I didn't think too highly of myself, but I wanted to change the way I was talking to me. And I wanted to change my identity. So what I realized is when I moved to New York, I went from Cameron to Cameron, and I gave myself a new identity. And there was times where Cameron wouldn't speak up, but Cameron, he would speak up. And there was times where it was inconvenienced that I had to continue on this with the identity. I had to speak up. I had to be Cameron. So when I legally changed my last name to Awesome, I didn't just create an identity. I turned it into a ceremony. I did it on my half birthday, so I legally celebrate both. I accept gifts and Venmo. But I threw this, so the idea was, because here's the identity loop. We all tell ourselves a story. And the story you tell yourself creates an identity. And that identity drives a behavior. And that behavior looks to prove that original story true. So in elementary school, I was afraid I was a coward. I couldn't defend myself. I created this identity of a coward. I avoided eye contact, I avoided people, and I hid. And I was just proving the story that I was a coward. Then for some reason, I just started telling myself I was unstoppable. I created the identity of a champion, which led to me winning more. And what does a champion do? They show up early, they stay late, they give everything they have. Because I was trying to prove the identity that I was a champion. So often in life, we try to change our behavior hoping it will change our identity. I'm not saying like change your name or anything, which I think you should. But change the way you talk to yourself. So I made a post online. I said I'm going to return to boxing. I'm going to win nationals every year, and then I'm going to dominate the 2016 Olympic trials. That was my goal I set out for. And Netflix reached out to me, and they're like, Cam, if you're going to do this, we want to follow you around and document your story. And I was like, sure. But how much are you paying? And they said, we're not going to pay you anything. I was like, well, do it anyway. So they followed me around as I won nationals in 2013, 2014, 2015, America. And in 2016, if you watch the Netflix documentary, it's called Counterpunch. Spoiler alert, I don't die at the end. I won the 2016 Olympic trials. But I didn't get to go. I didn't get to go. They changed the rules. After you win the Olympic trials, you have to win an international competition, and I lost in the finals on a split decision in Argentina. Heartbreaking, honestly, but I can take a loss. I took a look at my life. I'd been boxing at the absolute highest level for over a decade, and it finally hit me. I don't even like boxing. Something I did for a while to feel safe, it kind of got carried away. And then I thought about it, I was like, okay, well, what do I want to do with my time? And I thought about what I was most passionate about, and the truth was, it was bullying. So the reason why I got into speaking is to go back to schools, and I would talk at schools about bullying, about suicide awareness, about mental health, about resilience, about the story we tell ourselves. And I tell students all of this, and their only question is, are you going to try out for the 2020 games? I'm like, have I not won enough? I went to sign up for Team USA, and they said, Cam, you can't sign up for Team USA. Forgot to mention. I went on a tour in 2017 speaking at schools. It was going to be 51 days in my Prius. Do not judge me. They're good on gas. And I had this whole idea that I was going to go out for 51 days. I was going to speak at 44 schools. It was going to be great. I knew nothing would go wrong, which, if you want to make God laugh, it was the best joke I had. Because I had this 51-day tour planned out, and I totaled my car 3 hours into it. And I was going to go speak on resilience, which is defined as the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties. So I was like, okay, I got to keep going. So like I rented a car, and I continued on with the trip. And then on the trip, my friend was like, Cam, you totaled your car. You're going to get insurance money. I know what you should do. You should buy a van and live down by the river. And I was like, I was born in '88. I don't get it. Turns out it's an SNL skit where Chris Farley is a motivational speaker who lives in a van down by the river and eats government cheese. This is supposed to be a joke. I bought a van. And I lived in that van for 3 years, speaking at like 200 schools a year. So when it was time to sign up for the 2020 Olympics, they're like, Cam, you can't live in your van. You have to move back to Colorado Springs at the Olympic Training Center. And I was like, I don't know if you know this, but I don't like boxing that much anymore. I found a loophole. My dad's from Trinidad and Tobago. So I flew to my dad's home country. I learned about his country. I learned about his culture. I filed for citizenship. I became a dual citizen. I fought in the Olympic trials, and I'm proud to say I won by knockout, and I got to represent Team Trinidad in the 2020 games. Then the pandemic happened. Trinidad didn't send a team. Yeah. You know, sometimes when your effort doesn't match the results, it's like, I feel like I'm doing everything right. And the thing is, you just got to keep doing it. And that's kind of my success story with boxing is I retired from boxing with more wins than any other boxer in U.S. history. And I'm not that good. I didn't do it by being undefeated. I did it by doing the things that take no talent. The small things, consistency, resilience, being kind to myself, showing up with enthusiasm. That doesn't take much talent. You see, I retired with more wins than any other boxer in U.S. history, and it's because I also have probably more losses than other boxers as well. I've got 39 losses. That's more than anyone you could name. And but each of those losses taught me something. In 2010, the #1 boxer in the world at the time, Roberto Camarelli, came to the U.S. to fight me in Reno, Nevada. Why didn't we get Vegas? Who knows? But if you think I'm gonna let some dude come to my country on my home turf, I lost that fight too. Yeah, that one was particularly bad. Here's what I knew was gonna be bad. Beginning of the fight, I was here, and he was here, and then I got hit twice, but I didn't see his hands move. I was like, oh man, this is about to be educational. And then that man beat me in circles for the rest of the fight. I don't mean that in a metaphor. I mean, I was literally going in circles. During the fight, I was like, I've had a lot of fights. And I've had a lot of fights. No one's ever beat me in circles. When I figure out what's going on. And I make it to the locker room and I watch the video and I immediately realize they fight a lot differently in Europe than they do in the US. In the US, we throw short, powerful hooks to hurt our opponent. In Europe, they loop it outside your vision, where it doesn't hurt you, but it knocks you off balance like a bull and a matador. And a light bulb went off in my head. I now know something that most boxers in the US don't. And I used that one loss to go on a 43-fight win streak in the US. One loss, 43 wins. When the effort doesn't match the results, keep going. No, I've got 38 more stories I can tell you about. I was in the airport a few years ago and I heard, "Hey Cam, here's the thing about me. I'm bad with names, faces, dates, and places. But if you recognize me, I'm going to pretend I remember you." He's like, "Cam." I was like, "Ooh, finger guns. You, my guy." And we're chopping it up. And he's like, "You don't remember me, do you?" I was like, "My bad, man. Can you remind me?" He's like, "Cam, we fought twice," which to me confirms I won. That's how little our wins mean. Think about that. I met someone I beat twice, he said we fought twice. I knew I won because that's how, a win is a reason to let loose, to turn up, to celebrate, to go out, to party. But a win doesn't change anything about your life, who you are, or your ability to get better. But my losses, I can tell you all 39 of my losses. What city I lost in, who I lost to, what I did to lose, and what I could do next time to ensure I don't lose again. See, it's my 39 losses that allowed me to retire the most decorated boxer in US history. Because it's not about if you get knocked down, because life be lifing. It's not if life knocks you down, it's when. You see, the truth is my story is just one of failure. I just shared a bunch of things I almost did. That's it, like, that's when life gives you lemons. Like, Michael introduced me. He's like, "Hey, give a round of applause for your boxer. If you don't laugh at his jokes, he'll punch you in the face. He'll beat you up. He'll take your wife and raise your kids as his own." And that's ridiculous. I don't have any kids. Yeah. I share my failures because that's kind of who I am, and that's how I got into public speaking. And the truth is I've won 3 Olympic trials, and I've never gone to the Olympics. I'm like 99% of an Olympian. Which isn't bad when you realize there are people with bumper stickers celebrating 50% of a marathon. I'm Cam F. Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Well, give it up for Cam F. Awesome. Man, fantastic. Wasn't that a treat? That is such a treat. So good to have you. Give it up for Girl Start. Hey, listen, if you're wanting to give above and beyond Girl Star, we have QRs for Venmo, or if you just put it in the basket. All the money that comes in, we'll get it all to Girl Star. And so we just want to go above and beyond, make it as easy for them to just serve kids, especially females, and get involved in STEM. Just doing great work. Give a round of applause for yourself. Coming out for a little laugh, for a little comedy. Hey, let's get our comics back up here for a second. Matt and Cam, come on up to the stage. Yeah. Nice shoelace. I met these guys about a year ago, and we just got involved in doing comedy, and so we have so much fun just getting together and laugh and learning from each other. And it's a treat that we get to share that with you tonight. So thank you so much for coming. Y'all have a safe drive home. Appreciate you so much.